There we go. It is straight up and down 801 here in Bentonville, Arkansas, and I would like to formally welcome you to tonight's webinar. We are going to be talking about communication that sells. And this is one of my favorite topics to talk about because it's so important and so critical to you making more money and getting more clients in your business. Before we start, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. And if you've been around Kendrick Shope anytime, not me, but the business, anytime, you know what I'm going to say here. And I see some familiar names over here, so you probably can quote what I'm going to say. But it's evening here. It's 1 a.m. for some of you, Kate. And I just want to pause and genuinely thank you for being here. I know that people are short on two things, money and time. Time you can't make more of. So you are essentially giving us tonight one of your most precious resources. I guarantee you that we're not going to let you down, that you're going to learn something that can and will move your business forward. But I appreciate you taking the time away from your families, like for those of you who saw Hallianna dancing earlier, after a long day and you're tired, making the commitment to show up. That's the kind of business owners and people that I love to work with because of your dedication to your success. Something else that I would like to say is, and I actually learned this from Marie Forleo. I should have said it earlier, but I forgot in the first webinar. Because you've made a commitment to yourself to be here, I'm going to tell you how to get the most out of tonight's training. So shut things down. I read a statistic in Real Simple magazine that says people who multitask have the same brain capacity, according to MRIs, as someone who is high on marijuana. So you're not going to retain this likely if you are high. So shut everything down. Be here, be present with us. As I said, I guarantee you that you're going to learn something. And then you may hear some things that you've heard before. You're going to hear some things you haven't heard before. But if you are still looking for more clients and trying to make money in your business, it's good to hear things over and over until you master them. And I remember Marie saying to us, for those of y'all who don't know, I worked with Marie one-on-one 4 years ago, and I can remember her saying every time she heard something new, it sank in a different way. She got an extra nugget or something else. And so, especially in the beginning part of this, you may hear some things that you've heard before, but there's a reason I start with all of this because it's the foundation for everything we do. So thank you for being here, and let's get it started in here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like how this is doing tonight. Okay. My screen share is not working. Let's try again. There we go. There's Hallianna. Oh, wait a second. It's not letting me expand, which I don't like. Just a moment. Sorry about this. There we go. There we go. Hello. So one of the things that is super important to me and to you is trust. Trust is a tool, a strategy, a way that you can help potential buyers or prospects be more likely to buy from you. You've heard of people talk about the know, like, and trust factor. But I think that trust factor extends beyond just purchasing. I think that trust factor should be evoked when you show up and give your time for a free training or something like this. I think that it's one of the reasons this trust or this blind trust, I think it's one of the reasons that there's some dissatisfaction in the online industry, that people buy and have buyer's remorse. And so before we jump into the actual content, I want to tell you why you can trust me. I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want to tell you why you can trust me and earn your respect so that you know what I'm telling you comes from hard work and experience. Most of you know I'm Kendrick Shope. I'm the creator of Authentic Selling. Why do you want to learn selling from me? Well, I was a top performing sales rep for 3 Fortune 500 companies for over a decade. I was named one of the top sales reps in the nation. I have a book coming out, hopefully in the fall. We're still negotiating with publishers, called Sell Like a Woman. I know selling. I've studied selling for over half my life. But that's not the only reason, or the only reasons, those are not the only reasons you should trust me. You can trust me because I am one of you. Like many of you, I left a corporate job. I did a side hustle. I left a corporate job to follow a dream because I believed that there was more possible out there, because I wanted to be a role model for my daughter, that dreams come true. I am one of you. I struggled in the beginning. I knew selling, which is an unusual circumstance for most people, but I didn't know any of the other aspects of running a business. I struggled. I flopped around like a fish out of water. I made bad investments, probably. I went into debt. But the minute it all clicked, everything changed. I am one of you. I have walked in your shoes. So yes, I am an expert on selling. I'm not an expert at many things. I can't cook. I don't drive very well. There are lots of things I don't do. I don't eat well. I'm not an expert really at anything except loving my family and selling. I am one of you. Why authentic selling? You can learn sales from anybody. So that says why you can trust me. But why authentic selling? You know, you can learn selling from anybody. Well, quite simply, authentic selling makes your business money. But here's the thing, selling makes your business money. Authentic selling makes your business money with integrity. That's what authentic selling does. You ditch the ick, so to speak. I don't just like to tell you why you can trust me. You know, people talk about sharing stories and selling through stories. And I believe that is so powerful as well. So I don't want you to take my word for it. I talk about results all the time. I make big promises. I make big statements. And so I want you to see just a few middle of the road results so you can see what authentic selling really can do for you. Booked 40 new coaching clients, earned $15K in new client business, generated over $10K a month in incomes, exceeded original sales goal by 25%, earned $52,000 in 1 week. Now I know what you may be thinking. Here comes another webinar and another person going to promise me I can make all this money and sell me all this hoopla. She's pulled out her best testimonials and she's put them here to tempt me. That's not what we did. These are not our best testimonials. Granted, I'm sure that there are people who don't have these results, in the spirit of true disclosure. But I could have put up here, went from in the hole to $1 million in revenue, because authentic selling has done that. So 52K in 1 week is probably one of our better results, I will have to say. But this is what I want you to know is possible. But again, we tried to pull out middle of the road results so that we're being honest with you, so that you can see, oh, okay, it's not all hoopla. The results speak for themselves. It's also, authentic selling is not about, it's great to have big numbers. It's great to be able to say, I made $52,000 in 1 week. I mean, who wouldn't want to say that, right? That's amazing. But authentic selling also allows you to do something else, and that is to get paid for the value you provide, and even to get your first paying client. I will never forget the day I got my first paying client, ever. I mean, I can remember looking at PayPal thinking, is this real? Is this really happening? And so I want you to see, yes, these results are possible, that you wonder if they are really possible, but so are the steps to get there. Your first paying client. What an amazing thing. By the end of this webinar, you will learn the 2 most overlooked skill sets when building your business and what to do about it. A simple equation that will help you avoid staring at a blank page for writing copy. 4 different types of communications you can use to connect, engage, and turn prospects into raving fans. 1 type of communication that is proven to increase your business up to 50%. And we're going to answer some question and answers about sales school, or some questions about sales school. And there's not a big secret, probably because we weren't planning on doing the webinar again like this, but the big bonus of the year. Da, 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 da. We're going to cover that. I'm so excited. The first thing we have to do, actually, and I actually wanted to, oh man, I messed up. The first thing I want to do is I want you all to type. Y'all are not super duper typing in the chat box, but that's okay. I want you all to type in the chat box, if you're willing, what you think of when you hear the word selling. What do you think of? Type that for us. Slime, pushy. I love slime. That's great. Of course it's Cheshire Cat. You're forever going to be known as Cheshire Cat, just so you know. Pushy, helping people change their lives. Thanks, Tremulay. Bugging people. Yes. So, yuck. Oh, these are awesome. They're so good, and they're different from the ones we got today. So we heard fraud. We heard people's resistance to being sold, duped. Yes. Slime, annoying. Great. These are fantastic words. So here's what I want you to think. If this is how selling makes you feel, don't do it. You're better off not doing it. And I teach selling for a living. I am passionate about selling. But you're not going to convert anybody when you're engaging in an activity that feels this way to you. So the first thing we have to do before we can ever learn about communication that sells is change our the way we think about selling. Just trying to think of a word. Now listen, I know why you all feel this way about selling, and why everybody I've ever spoken to usually has negative things to say about selling. These are the words we typically hear: icky, sleazy, slimy, gross, pushy. But the actual definition of the word selling is the exchange of money for a product or service. Many of you have likely heard me say, but the authentic selling definition of selling is helping. So take out your sheet of paper and write selling. Do it right now with me is, no, don't do that right now with me. Do this right now with me. Selling is helping. Selling is helping. I tell my clients, write that on a Post-it note and put it on your computer so it can be your guide when we do some of this communication. Selling is helping. Selling is helping. So if you begin to feel the ick, the sleaze, the slime, the gross, the pushiness, remember, selling is helping. Now, just simply telling you that or reframing that definition doesn't make it so. As I said, I know why you believe this. We've all had an experience where we've been railroaded or pushed or have buyer's remorse about buying something or being sold to. But actually selling gets a bad reputation from all the way back when there used to be medicine men traveling around, and they would sell elixir. And the elixir made people feel amazing and look younger and thinner and whatever. And then the next morning the people felt like death because it was alcohol. And so that's where the slimy, shyster type sales or salesperson, salesman reputation first began to take shape. People were getting duped, right? Well, we can't be out there communicating about our amazing products and services that are going to change people's lives if we feel like we are pulling the wool over somebody's eyes. Selling is helping. What happens when you make this reframe? This is one of the most powerful things I teach. Why? Because when you have a mindset shift towards sales and abundance, everything can change in your business. Sarah Michelle Brown hated selling. And I'm not telling you anything that she wouldn't tell you. Hated it. Now she says it feels like a natural, positive part of her business. This is one of the most powerful things you will ever learn about selling, regardless of who you learn from here on out. Selling is helping. Think about it. If you can change somebody's life, health, business, weight, whatever, why would you not? I am here today because somebody sold me. I am here today because I accidentally ran into Danielle Laporte online. That led me to Marie Forleo, and that led me to this. I am here today because I was sold. You sell all the time as well. You are a salesperson. In your life, you sell your significant other. Honey, could you help with the laundry? I got a lot to do. I got to attend this webinar. Could you put the kids to bed? Could you run to the grocery store? You are selling. You already do it. We just have to figure out how to translate that into your business, and that's where we're going to start tonight. Why? Because I don't want you to cringe when you think of selling to your people. I want you to view it as an act of service, because you all have amazing products and services, right? I mean, you have services that change people's lives. You can't cringe when you talk about them. You want to view it as an act of service because you view your products and services as a service. That's what we want for you. That's the goal. What's communication got to do with selling anyway? You know that Tina Turner song, What's Love Got to Do with it? Oh my goodness. I'm in a singing mood. So just so y'all know, I was told by some people in New York that I'm working with never to sing on camera again. And I swear to you, I've been singing like crazy since they told me that. So just so y'all know, I'm a rule follower. Can you tell? All right. So what's communication got to do with selling? Think about it. When you want to buy something, what must happen? Communication. If I want to buy these glasses, stop share for a demonstration. If I want to buy these glasses instead of these glasses, maybe I should have y'all vote. Which ones do you like better? Somebody has to tell me about these, right? Somebody needs to, I'm not just gonna, I need to know that they're there. I need to know that the eye doctor's there. I need to know that however I got these, yeah, I like these better too. I'm leaving these on. They're the same prescription. Thank you. Oh, you like the original ones? Oh, okay. Well, y'all vote because I want to know. Actually, I'm gonna put the original ones back on there because they're clean. So, lost train of thought. Okay, so they may not have sold me on the glasses, but when I moved to Bentonville, Arkansas, I had to find an eye doctor. I got sold on an eye doctor, went to the eye doctor, needed my glasses, got these frames and these frames, and I'm going back to get a new pair because I'm ready for a new pair. Think about it, your cell phone. You were sold on that either by a commercial or by someone in the Genius Bar or by a Samsung ad, the next best thing. Your lipstick, right? I told y'all about this amazing lipstick before we started. Well, I don't get paid, but I'm selling you on how amazing I think it is because you can wear it around your neck. So communication has to happen in order for you to get what you want, right? What's love got to do? When you want to buy something, you have to communicate. Some people call it marketing. Some people call it selling. The lines get blurred between what is marketing, what is selling. Both are super important. It's why Fortune 500 companies have entire marketing departments and why they have entire selling departments. But it's all really just communication, whether it's through pictures or images or through the words that you're saying. Tonight, we're going to talk about 4 types of communication, and there are others, but we're going to talk about 4 types of communication that make your business money. Sales emails, website copy, social media, or I call it social selling, and follow-up. If you've been around me anytime, you know I am the follow-up queen because it is statistically proven to increase your business by 50%. Here's the other thing follow-up does. It separates the girls from the ladies because follow-up is a commitment. It's a commitment. And lots of times you follow up and don't get responses, at least initially. But when you master follow up, when you get there, your business will go. Actually, I guess this is the way we want it to go. So we're going to start with, and I know Christine's on here and Danielle's on here, so you all might, y'all could absolutely speak to this. We've got some sales school grads on here. But we're going to start with your communication equation or your sales map. We're going to call it sales map. We need to rename it on this slide because that's what I call it, sales map. But, and step number one, you want to ask yourself, before you write any email, before you write any website copy, before you do your social media, before you follow up, you want to ask yourself one question. Well, a couple of questions. What's the problem? Now, you may be here and think, well, I've already got my website copy written. Fantastic. That's awesome. But you want to look at your website copy through the lens of selling. As a matter of fact, you want to look at every part of your business through the lens of selling. Because every part of your business is selling. Your opt-in should sell. Your about page should sell. Now, I don't mean you got to do that the right way. You can't just have 2 sales pages. Your sales page should sell. Your blog should sell. You want to look at everything through the lens of selling, and this is how you start. Step number one, you ask yourself, what's the problem? You know, I jumped ahead. So, yeah, I jumped way ahead. So let me go back for a minute. Writing copy is one of the most painful parts of running a business. If I had $1 for every time I thought, God, I should have taken a writing class. I had no idea how much writing was going to be involved. I'd be a gazillionaire. And I hear this all the time. And I was a little bit angry when I realized how much writing was involved. I think being able to write is one of the most overlooked skills needed to run a successful business. And some people say, well, can't you just hire a copywriter? You can. Yes, you can. But you better make sure the copywriter knows sales copywriting, because there's a difference between copywriting and sales copywriting. The other mistake, and this is a bonus mistake I'll share. It's not one of the most overlooked mistakes, but the other mistakes that people make when it comes to copy is they try to be cute. They try to be catchy. They try to be trendy. And none of that sells. You know, I used to see Danielle LaPorte's copy and think, I want to sound like that, but a version of me. Here's the thing. Danielle's copy sells because it's real, because it's authentic, because it's her. My copy not only needs to sound like me, but it needs to sell, and so does yours. So before you go for cute, trendy, catchy, make sure that it sells. Now, can you hire a copywriter? Absolutely. But this is a skill set you need either way, because number one, a copywriter is expensive. If you hire a copywriter for every piece of information you're going to have to write. Number two, what if, and this happens to me all the time, and my team can attest to this, you get a great idea in the shower, you're washing your hair, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. I totally need to do this promotion. And you want to bang out an email and send it. To get a copywriter to do it, it could take a while, right? It could take a week. It could take 2 weeks. Again, nothing wrong with copywriters. I love them. I use them. But I also know how to do it for myself, and that is what you want to do. You empower yourself. So let's talk about the communication equation, or AKA, oh man, I won't do that now. Wait. Sales map. So this is basically pain point plus feature equals benefit. Pain point plus feature equals benefit. Now we're going to talk about what this really means, but this is Sales 101. So they'll teach you this in sales books. They'll teach you this at corporate selling schools. Pain point plus feature equals benefit. What does pain point really mean? I once had somebody say to me, Kendrick, I don't think my customers or potential customers have pain points. I don't think anything's wrong with them. And I said, that is fantastic. I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing. If they don't have a problem, you don't have a business. Because people aren't going to pay you unless you're Oprah to sit down and talk with you, right? They've got to have a problem. It's like Vanilla Ice. If you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. They got to have a problem that you can solve, whether it's wrinkles or whether it's better energy or whether it's whatever. It's got to be clear cut. If you've got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook because the DJ Revolt, that's not it. Okay. So ask yourself, what's showing up in your customers' lives before they work with you? Plus your product equals results. Let's start with pain points. I'm going to give you a couple of analogies here, but the first one I always like to give is the medical example because I came from the medical field. So what's showing up in your customers' lives before they work with you? What problems are they currently having that you can support them with? So think about a child, and let's say Hallianna has a sore throat and she's throwing up and she can't sleep and she's got a really high fever and maybe even a little rash on her tummy. Those are the pain points, right, that she's experiencing. She feels really bad. She can't go to school. Those pain points begin to creep out and affect other people as well. If Hallianna is feeling poorly, has fever, and is throwing up, one of the parents, one of the caregivers has to stay home with her. We can't go to work. There's also fear of us getting sick, right? So the pain points affect your customer, but they also can creep out and begin to touch other people's lives. That's an important thing to think about. So let's say I take Hallianna to the doctor, and the doctor or the nurse says, okay, why are you here today, basically? She's basically saying, what symptoms is she having and how are they presenting? So I want you to think about your customers this way. What symptoms are they having and how are they presenting? So in this example, I might say, well, Hallianna has a sore throat, she has fever, she's been vomiting, she's got a little rash, she can't sleep. We've stayed home from school 2 days, I'm missing work. These are her symptoms. And they're presenting, she's miserable. We're all miserable. Nobody's sleeping. Everybody's cranky. We want her to get better. We're worried about her, that she can't, continue to feel this way. Okay, that's how the symptoms are presenting, right? The doctor comes in, swabs her for strep. Yep, she's got strep. That's the diagnosis. So your diagnosis may be, yep, they need help with their branding, or yep, you need help with selling, or yep, you got some wrinkles right here that we can address, or yep, you never have your lipstick on and you look so much better with lipstick, so we're gonna put lipstick on straight. So that's the diagnosis. So you got pain point plus feature. I really need to change this to plus diagnosis, but anyway, plus feature. The feature is the solution. So remember I said, if you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. So you've got the problem. We know what the problem is. We know how the problem presents. How do we solve it? Now, it doesn't matter if you're a medicine fan, if you're not a medicine fan. In this example, Hallianna's getting Amoxil. That's the solution, okay? She takes Amoxil, the pink medicine, however many times a day, whatever. That's the solution. Strep throat goes away. Those are your features. However that presents, we're going to do coaching 2 times a week. We're going to put this wrinkle cream on. We're going to run 14 times a day. You're going to take Amoxil 25 times a day, whatever. That is the feature. The benefit is what changes as a result of the feature. Here's where people get messed up. And when you nail benefits, you are selling. But here's what oftentimes gets messed up. People think that the results are simply the reversal of symptoms. So in this example, Hallianna had a sore throat, a sick at her stomach, a rash, high fever, not sleeping, whatever. The result is the reversal of all those symptoms. But people buy off of emotion and justify with logic. She doesn't have a sore throat anymore. Evokes no emotion in me, right? She is able to go back to school, doesn't really evoke a lot of emotion in me. So how do you evoke emotion in your customers? You ask yourself why it matters. She doesn't have a sore throat anymore. She doesn't have fever anymore. She's not vomiting anymore. She can go back to school, which means she's happy. She's a healthy child. She's enjoying school. She can go out and play with her friends. Mom can go back to work. The house runs smoother. We're not worried about her getting rheumatic fever and dying. You see, those are the actual benefits. So pain points. What's showing up in your customers' lives before they work with you? What problems are they currently experiencing? How do they present that you can help with? Here are some examples. Pain points for a sales coach, because I happen to know those pretty well. My customers might say they're not making enough money, or they thought if you build it, they would come, or they're not getting enough clients. A life or career coach's customers might say they wake up tired and dreading the workday and actually wonder if this is all there is to life. A health or nutrition expert might say, or their customers might say they want to fit into skinny jeans for the fall, or they look in the mirror every day and beat themselves up because they feel ugly. You try it. Write pain points for one of your offers or customers. What are pain points? Take out your little sheet of paper where you wrote selling is helping and write down a pain point, 3 pain points, whatever. This, you're going to walk away with good stuff here. Oh, Christine, we were talking about pain points today. I was going to text you after this. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I'll text you after this anyway, but this is awesome. Sorry. How do those pain points present? What are the symptoms? There's something on my desk right here that I can't seem to leave alone. Great. So as we said, the features is the medicine or the cure or the solution, and how you take it, how you get it, how it's administered, right? So maybe it's read a book, maybe it's meditate, maybe it's whatever. It's the medicine and the cure, and also how it is delivered. So in our example of a business is not making, or a sales coach's customers' pain points, they weren't making any money, thought if you build it, they will come. A feature could be sales school. And then all that goes with that features, you know, it's delivered every 6 weeks where you have classes and tutor time and, you know, all that stuff. For the life or career coach, for their potential customers, they woke up feeling tired and dreading the workday and wondered if this was all there is to life. A feature might be one-on-one coaching. It might be reading Find Your Own North Star. For the health or nutritionist, maybe their customers want to fit into skinny jeans for the fall, or they look in the mirror and they beat themselves up every day. The feature could be a weight loss program. It could be a podcast about nutrition. It can be anything. It can be free stuff. It can be paid stuff. The point here is it helps them solve a problem. The feature is basically your offer, right? So whatever you're offering, whatever you're coaching around right now, that's your feature. So we don't even have to write that down because you know what you do. Benefit. And again, benefits are where we are selling. I want to call these big, beautiful benefits. It's a triple threat. It's like the triple B. What's the result? What's the difference? You know, what shows up differently after someone gives you their hard-earned money and their precious time? What does this product do for them? What does this art do for them? What does your training do for them? What do these people dream is possible that you can give them? Not that you can promise them, but that you can give them. Now, it may be, if let's say you're selling nutrition, it's up to your customers to take action. I get that. So there's a fine line between what you can promise and what you can't. But what do these people dream of? That if they follow your instructions, they can achieve. Here's the thing that we miss a lot of time in the online world. People always say, I'm worried. Y'all are so cognizant, and I love this, but I'm worried about making promises, and I love that. And I don't want to make promises that I can't keep either. But in our doctor example, the doctor gives Amoxil to cure the strep throat. And usually Amoxil is BID twice a day, right? So at least it is for Halliana. So once in the morning, once in the evening for 10 days. If I don't give it to her, give her the medicine, she doesn't get better. So it's called being compliant or therapeutic, right? If you give your customers all this amazing advice and they don't do it, they're not being compliant. I can sell you the best lawnmower out there. gonna cut your grass in half the time, got an air conditioner on it, got a little bar that can mix drinks up for you. Your yard is gonna be the best looking yard on the planet. But if you don't start the lawnmower and get on it, your yard is gonna be full of weeds. So we gotta be careful what we promise, yes. But we also have to understand that the customer has a role in this. Got off on a tangent. I didn't plan to get off on, but there. So what do these people dream is possible that you can give them? Let's go back to our examples. I want to be aware of your time. Sales coach. Clients were not making any money. Thought if you build it, they would come. The feature was sales school. After sales school, you're able to make money, make an impact, get more clients. Why does that matter? Because you get to do what you love every day. Create a 6-month waiting list of interested clients. Why does that matter? Because you're going to make more money. You're going to be able to continue to do the business you love. In our life or career coach example, you wake up, their customers wake up tired, dreading the workday, which is awful, as you all probably know. Wonder if this is all there is to life. The feature that we used in this example was one-on-one coaching or finding your own North Star. What's the benefit? You awake with a sense of purpose and meaning. You believe you can create anything you want in life and are empowered to never settle again. Let me tell you something. If you can help people get to this point, believe that they can create anything they want in life and are empowered to never settle, you have given them one of the most precious things they will ever receive. This is what I pray for my daughter, that she believes she has the power to create anything she wants and she's empowered to never settle in her life. People say, I don't know how to make life coaching tangible. You're looking at it the wrong way. I can teach you how to make it tangible. Pain points for our nutrition example. Wanted to fit in skinny jeans for the fall. I cannot wait for fall. Looks in the mirror and sees herself and beats herself up. I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm whatever. Look at this bruise on my fat arm. The feature that we talked about was a weight loss program or a podcast about nutrition. What's the benefit? After she subscribes to this podcast about nutrition and implements whatever is prescribed on there. She goes shopping and finds the perfect pair of jeans for fall and looks and feels amazing. Her confidence goes up and everything she wants to accomplish is easier. Because when you have more confidence, everything is easier. She creates a presence of confidence and empowerment. My mic's in the way if y'all can't tell. And beauty everywhere she goes. What a lovely thing. Confidence and empowerment and beauty everywhere she goes. That's pretty freaking awesome. You try it. You write your pain points down. We know what your features are. You can just put my offer for now. What's the benefit? Big, beautiful benefits. Big, beautiful benefits. Remember to ask yourself why it matters. It's not just the reversal of symptoms, but why does it matter? What can they do now that they could never do before? This is what the benefit is of learning how to infuse sales into everything you do. Some of you may know Emily Thompson. She's one of the co-founders of Being Boss, and she is a boss. Emily's a sales school graduate, and she also worked with me one-on-one, but this testimonial is about sales school only. She got a free session with me when she paid for sales school, so we had an hour session, and after sales school and her hour session, she got $40,000 in new business commitments just from the changes she made. What did we do in that one session? We infused sales, language, pain points, features, and benefits into her copy. That's it. In 1 hour. Before sales school, you can watch her testimonial on the page. Before sales school, she didn't know where her next client was going to come from. She had nothing on the books. In 6 weeks, $40,000 in commitments. What did we do? She came through sales school, and then we infused pain points, features, and benefits into her copy. Changed her whole business. So now you've got this communication equation or this sales map. How do you use it, right? What's the benefit? Well, number one, you should never stare at a blank page when you're writing copy again. So On that sheet of paper where you have selling is helping, perhaps write sales map or communication equation. It's the same thing. So that you, and pin it to your computer so that you know, oh, I'm looking at a blank page and I need to write copy. Or when copy feels hard, ask yourself, what's your sales map? My one-on-one clients probably hate this. They probably hate it. Because anytime we're creating copy or I'm reviewing an email or looking at a video to give them feedback, I say, where's the, let me see the sales map. We had a team meeting the other day about something, and I was like, yeah, I need to pull the sales map out for sales school. What's the sales map? I've sold it 5 times. And I said, yep, I need to look at this year's sales map. This literally takes the stress out of writing copy away. Now, in sales school, we teach you how to infuse this sales map into a formula that makes this easy peasy. What's the goal of being able to write copy this way, other than convert, right? Like, obviously, it is to get more paying clients. And to show them your value, but you can write educational copy this way. You can get people to purchase. You can establish trust this way. How does this establish trust? Because it shows your people, I have walked in your shoes. I know what your pain feels like, looks like, tastes like. I've walked in your shoes. It establishes trust. You can seed plant. And seed planting is when, let's say you got a big launch like sales school coming up, and so 3 weeks in advance, you start talking about communication that sells in your blog or the importance of pain points, features, benefits. That's the purpose of learning to write copy like this. Now, I want to talk to you about any kind of email, any kind of sales page, any kind of written follow-up, social selling, social media, any kind of communication that you write. Your first goal has to be to get the reader to read the next line of copy. So for example, in a sales email, the most important line is always the next line. So the subject is the most important line of your sales email. Because if I'm not convinced, interested, intrigued by your subject, I'm not going to open it. And it doesn't matter how beautiful of a sales email you have or how compelling. If the subject doesn't motivate me to take action, I'm not going to read it. So remember that your goal has to be with every line of copy you write, would I keep reading? Read your own stuff. So when I read copy for sales school, you all submit homework to me and I read it myself. I literally say, great. So did she follow, he or she follow the equation? Yes, they followed the equation. Here are pain points. Here are features. Here are benefits. Here's the call to action. Now, let me read it so I read it as the coach, and then I read it as the buyer. And I say, does line number 1 make me want to keep reading? Does line number 2 make me want to keep reading? Has it got my attention? Has it sparked interest and desire? Because if it doesn't matter. The other thing I want you to remember when you write any kind of copy is it KISS approved? KISS. And that means keep it super simple. You don't need copy that sounds like a Rhodes Scholar, even if you are one. You don't need copy that sounds catchy or trendy. It's if you're a good writer, great, fantastic. You need copy that sells. Period. You need social media that sells. And when you think about that, that is communication. It is the written word or the typed word. And you need to know how to cut through the mumbo jumbo and get to copy that evokes emotion. Why? Because people buy on emotion and justify with logic. I also promised you that tonight I was going to tell you the two most overlooked skill sets when running a business. I told you what one of them is. I think being able to write copy is one of the most overlooked skill sets when running a business. The other one is, and I actually have three that are pretty close tied, but the second one is selling. Viewing selling as helping. I think that I'm biased when it comes to selling. I know I am. Totally get that. I'm biased, but I believe it was Forbes or maybe it was Entrepreneur, maybe it was Inc. One of those three asked Fortune 500 companies. Let me get this straight. I said this wrong. Asked 20 Fortune 500 CEOs separately, independent of each other, what's the most important skill set in running a business that makes money? These 20 CEOs were in different rooms. They could not hear what the other one said. 100% of those 20 Fortune 500 CEOs said selling. 100%. Why is that? Because selling makes your business money. If you can't sell, your business is broke. The other thing is, if you can get 20 Fortune 500 CEOs to agree on anything else, you're doing a good job. So I think the two most overlooked skill sets in running an online business are selling and viewing selling as helping. I've got a hair sticking out right there, I see now. And being able to write compelling copy. Okay, let's go back to the webinar. I needed to lean in for dramatic effect. I'm so dramatic. I think I get more dramatic this time of night, Erica. Okay, so let's review. In this webinar, you have learned, don't leave though, because we got prizes. The most overlooked two skill sets when building your business and what to do about it. Number one is learn to sell. Number two is learn to write copy. Learn to do it. Don't have to learn it from me, but learn it. It is so powerful. You learned a simple equation to help you avoid staring at a blank page when writing copy, and this is only step one. So I will say we cover, we have this, I think it's 13-point mnemonic device, which is so inappropriate, that we learn in sales school that literally takes you through every phase of writing a sales page. Literally, you've got like, you've got A, and you write your attention getting statement. You've got I, and you write your interest statement. You've got whatever. So T is your transition. So literally it takes you step by step. I'm not going to do it. Step by step through writing copy. But it starts with this. There is a place where we get to B. You insert your benefits. There's a place when we get to F. You insert your features. There's a place when we get to P. You insert your pain points. I mean, it just flows. You learn 4 different types of communication that you can use to connect, engage, and turn prospects into raving fans. There are others. There are others that you can use. There is the sales consults. There are mini sessions. There are giving your stuff away. There is giving your stuff away for free. So there are other ones, but you learned 4, and you learned one type of communication that you need to implement. If you hear me say nothing else besides selling is helping, learn to follow up. If you are dedicated to follow up, it will increase your business. It will. It's proven to do so. But you got to know how to write in order to follow up. Pain points, features, benefits. Before you write a follow-up, pain points, features, benefits. One of the things that I want to mention to y'all really quickly before we move on, we talked a lot about this in the first webinar, is the difference, or the different, honestly, there's something wrong with my brain, y'all. The different aspects of selling. So lots of people think of selling as the seal the deal. Grant Cardone, who is a sales god, says, the purpose of selling is the close, which is, the call to action when somebody pays you. And technically, I lost my train of thought because I saw this dad blame chat and somebody said something about my hair. I have such ADD. I'm sorry. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Golly bun. And technically Grant's right. I mean, I would never want to tell, I learned, like I've got all of Grant's books. So I cut my teeth on some of Grant's materials when I was in pharma sales. So the purpose is to close because the black and white definition is the exchange of money for a product or service. However, there is so much that goes into selling. There's prospecting, which means finding your customers. Organizations have entire departments that prospect. You've been prospected before. It looks like this. Hello, may I speak with Christine Schirmele? Hi, this is Kendrick with Visa. How are you doing tonight? Oh, you're eating dinner. Okay, no problem. I'll call you back. I hope you have a wonderful dinner. If you've been telemarketed, you have been prospected. Now, it doesn't have to do that. By the way, I telemarketed for a whole year. I've done almost every kind of selling there is. But there's prospecting. There is connection and engagement that comes next. And I love that part. That's the part that makes selling feel so less icky, sleazy, slimy, pushy. The connection and the engagement and the helping. And then there is presenting the options, overcoming objections, the close, the follow-up, and the testimonial or the referral. We take that approach in sales school to selling. It's the first year we've ever taken the approach like this, but we take prospecting into consideration. You get a 90-day action plan that is guaranteed to make your investment back. And if it doesn't, you email us and I get on the phone with you, or I help you troubleshoot over email because I am that confident in our plan. But we're approaching the plan differently. So we're approaching it from the prospecting phase to the connection and engagement, to the presenting the offer, to the overcoming objections, to the follow-up, and then closing the deal, and then getting referrals. You learn how to do every piece of that in sales school, but selling is not just the close. Again, Grant says the purpose of selling is to close, and maybe it is so that you can help people, but you got to know how to do all of those things. So it's not just writing copy that compels, it's the whole deal. That's when I want to be really honest and truthful with you. That's when people have results like $52,000 in 1 week. That's when people get $40,000 in new coaching business, when you get the whole package, right? When you learn the kinds of things that we learn in sales school. So I wanted to be honest with you and say, yes, those things are possible, but probably not just from what we learned here tonight, although it happened that way for Emily, but she came through sales school as well. Okay, cool. So let's go back to our screens. Oh, you know what? Well, if you have questions, and I think Erica posted the link in the chat, but if you have questions, ask in the Authentic Selling community. I will be more than happy to answer. I will be so jazzed up after this webinar that I'll be in there answering questions. It's funny, 2 nights ago, I worked until 4 a.m. because we had some issues that I was trying to work out that we didn't expect to pop up with the sales school launch. And then this morning, I get up at 5 anyway, most days. And so my husband was like, you're gonna be so tired after this webinar. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna be so jazzed because I get so empowered off of your energy. So I'll be in the ASC answering questions. Let's talk about sales school really quickly. And if you have questions about the content, I'll answer those at the end. So stick around, I'm happy to do that. But let's talk about sales school. When I created sales school, actually when I had the thought to create sales school, it was several years ago, and I was sitting in I guess it was 5 years ago. I was sitting in a pizza parlor in New York City with a dear friend of mine. And I told her what I wanted to do. I didn't have any one-on-one clients then. It was a hard time in my business. And I said, I want to create a course that changes everything. I want to create a course that restores people's faith in online learning. I want to create a course that is not just theory and doesn't leave people hanging. I want to create, no disrespect to anybody's course. I'm not bashing other people's courses because Listen, I've bought courses I've never opened. So that's my fault, right? I get it. But I want to create a course that gets results. And there are plenty of them out there, but I want to be able to change everything. I want to stand for something. And so the idea of Sales School was born in that pizza parlor. I had a Diet Pepsi and pepperoni pizza, and I worked towards that ever since. This will be our 5th time that we've run Sales School. It has sold out every time because I cap the number of people so that you can get one-on-one time with me. It's also the last time we're running it this way. So you get grandfathered into all this amazing stuff that's going to happen next year, which I'll talk about in a minute. What I want you to know is we make a lot of promises. We make a lot of, you're going to get, we're going to over deliver. You're going to, if you have questions, let us know. You're going to come in like Jennifer did with high expectations. And I expect that because I have high expectations for you. I want you to have high expectations for me. I do. I want Sales School. Sales School is the #1 sales training program on the internet for women. You should have high expectations. And I believe that you will be saying the same thing Jennifer said at the end of this. It was an overall incredible experience. Because that is what, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Team Kendrick does. That is, if we do nothing else, and you will see us make mistakes, I guarantee it. But if we do nothing else, we're going to blow your mind with how we treat you, with what we give to you. What do you do in Sales School? We work a little bit more on reframing selling so it never feels icky or slimy again. Why is this important? We talked about it tonight. I get it. Selling is helping. Why do we need to cover that again, Kendrick? We've already heard that. Because when you make that reframe, this is what happens. Learning to sell in a way that feels fun changes your business. Here's why. Because remember when I said, if you are approaching selling with an icky, sleazy, slimy energy, just don't do it. Because that's going to translate to your customers. Think about, in contrast, when you approach selling from a place of fun, that's going to translate. If I've got a choice as a customer to buy two identical products, one from somebody who is selling me who feels icky, sleazy, slimy, gross about selling, and one from somebody who thinks this is fun, who am I going to buy from? Products are identical. I'm going to buy from the person who thinks selling is fun because it will translate. Just like my energy translates here to you all. I love this stuff. You can tell it. I can't sit still. It translates. We're going to learn how to make your opt-in work so that your list actually grows. We're going to learn how to make your opt-in sale. We're going to make a follow-up funnel that takes customers from opting in to actually purchasing your products or service. Why is this important? Because you can have massive list growth. Like, I can't even say Marsha Shandor. Yes, Marsha. She closed her first client as a result, by the way, of a follow-up, and her list grew by over 700%. Now, why is list growth important? There's all this conflicting information on the internet about lists, and you can sell with a small list. Yeah, you can, but here's the thing. And people ask me now where I heard the statistic, and I wish I could remember it. I think Natalie Lucier quoted it. I need to email Nat and find out. But 1 to 3% of your list is going to convert. So the bigger your list is, the more likely you have of converting people. It just is. That's why list growth of 700% is amazing. What else are you going to do? You're going to learn how to write follow-ups that convert, just like Marsha did. Her first client came off of a follow-up that is posted in the Sales School library for your use today as a Sales School student. And remember, 50% of all sales are closed in follow-up communication. If you don't know how, you're leaving money on the table and missing an opportunity to help other people. What makes this so amazing? What makes this library full of resources and done for you follow-ups so amazing? Why is this so important? Becky Dixon says the library is worth the price of admission alone. And I know that's true because the follow-ups in there, if you just use them, the follow-ups in there are responsible for millions with an S of dollars worth of business. Millions. There are some sales copywriters who charge $100,000. I am not making this up, to write one follow-up for you. One. Or to write one sales letter for you. I believe I could sell follow-ups and sales pages, not sales pages, but sales letters, sales emails for $20,000. I think I could. Now y'all may be thinking she's crazy. If she could do that, why wouldn't she? There's a whole host of reasons. But instead, I load all those in the library. These are all follow-ups that have been used by my customers or that I have used and I have written. They're awesome. What happens when you put all these skill sets together? Love Nikki Green. By learning to sell and follow up, she had booked herself out for 3 months. 3 months. Imagine going from where you are right now, wherever that is, to being booked out for 3 months. And then we're gonna focus on some other communications. We're gonna focus on having sales conversations. We're gonna focus on consults. We're gonna focus on mini sessions. We're gonna focus on getting more prospects to say yes to your offers. We're gonna map out your entire consult process. Why is this important? A lot of y'all know Natalie Lucier. Natalie was one of my very first customers. I can't remember how much money she paid me. Either, I think it was $197. It might have been $2,000. It might have been right after I raised my prices. But I did one session with Nat. One. We did her consult, her sales conversations. And I never will forget, I was nervous because Natalie was pretty famous then. And I remember getting an email from her saying, I made $15,000. I closed $15,000 in business. And this was 4 years ago. And now I feel amazing about selling. I have this newfound confidence. I cried. I cried when I got that. I was so proud. I still am to this day. It's amazing to read words on a paper, to know that you've had an impact, right? I mean, Natalie was going to be successful. She already was, either way. But to read, I closed over $15,000 in new clients as a result of changing my consult process. I don't have the words for that. That's what I want for you. That's what authentic selling can do. Let's talk money. Because at the end of the day, you either like me or you don't. I'm either the kind of person you want to do business with or I'm not. You either believe that sales school will get you there or you don't. But the reason you're going to tell yourself that you're not going to buy is money. Here's the thing. I believe that if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that sales school would get you where you wanted to go, get you more clients, make you more money, you'd put your credit card down right now. I do. I believe that. I would, right? I mean, if there was no risk. If you knew that you were going to be one of the people on the slides next year as a glowing success story, of course you would. There's no risk. But there's always some fear and always some risk. You have past experiences that say don't buy. The actual cost of sales school is $2,000. It's less than $5.50 a day. My Starbucks coffee that I drink every day costs more than that. Which actually, now I'm kind of concerned that I'm spending $2,000 on Starbucks a year. I just put that together. Holy cow. That's neither here nor there. The cost of sales school is less than $5.50 a day. But really, you have to ask yourself, before you go to money, before you say, I can't afford it, ask yourself, is she the type of person I want to learn from? Yes or no? Do I believe that sales school will get me where I want to go? Yes or no? And if you don't know, if the answer to that question is I don't know, you owe it to yourself to explore and to get your questions answered. I never, ever, ever want to talk somebody into something that they don't want. It's not who I am. But I also don't ever want you to say no to an opportunity and use money as the reason because you've been burned before. So, am I the type of person you want to do business with? Yes or no? If you answered no, then great. Sales school is not for you, and that's okay. I totally get that. And do I believe that sales school can get me where I want to go? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, welcome to sales school. We are honored to have you. If the answer is no, then it's no. Invest in selling though. Invest in learning selling. You're here because you want more clients and you want to make more money. And if you don't learn from me, that's fine, but invest in learning selling. It will change your life and it will change your business. If the answer is I don't know, come to the Authentic Selling community and get your questions answered. I will do everything I can to help you make the best decision for you at this time. And there are a whole host of people you can ask about sales school who will do the same thing. And they'll be honest with you. They'll be honest with you. Less than $5.50 a day. This is probably one of the testimonials I am most proud of that we have ever received. And it says nothing about money. Because I tell you all, we're going to be different. I tell you all, we're going to be supportive. I tell you all, we are going to do things uncommonly well. When we got this testimonial, I think I cried again. And I don't cry. I'm not a crier. But to hear the most supportive mentor ever absolutely delivers and truly provides services uncommonly well. I'm too attached to results, first of all. So, just ignore that. I know I need some life coaching. But this is our goal for every single one of you. And how can I be so sure that sales school will deliver for you? Because if you say yes to sales school, if you trust us with your money and your time, you're going to get an email from us that asks you, what are your 3 goals for sales school? What do you want to get for your investment? You want to learn consults? You want to learn how to walk on the moon? You want to learn how to whatever? And I'm going to say, great. We're going to teach you all those, unless we're not. I'm not going to teach you how to walk on the moon. So we would contact you and say, hey, Kendrick, you're going to learn number 1 and number 3, but you're not going to learn how to walk on the moon in sales school. The other thing I do is we're going to write down this year. Great. She wants to learn consults, mini sessions, and follow-ups. She's going to learn consults in week 4. She's going to learn mini sessions in week 4. She's going to learn follow-ups in week 5. We need to email her on week 4 and say, hey, Kendrick, you wanted to learn consults and mini sessions. This is the week that you want to pay really close attention because you're going to learn them. Now, it all fits together, so you want the whole package, but we're going to check up on you like it's school. We're going to be there to partner with you, and I want every single one of you all to be able to say this at the end, because then we have done our job well. Most valuable program ever. Again, says nothing about money. That's the kind of testimonials that let us know we've done exactly what we promised. If you still have questions, there's a link in the chat box for the Authentic Selling community, and you can also post your questions about sales school in the chat box right now. Let's go on to the Viva Las Vegas bonus. Viva Las Vegas. So my team came up with this. We're doing 2 pretty amazing bonuses for anybody who buys within the next 24 hours. One is Sales Prep School. Sales Prep School is going to be August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And we're going to take you through some opt-in bonus training, and I'm going to give you feedback on your opt-in idea. I'm going to personally review your website. only for the people who buy within the next 24 hours and buy from us. And I'm going to give you feedback on that. And we're also going to do, what else is it? I forgot. Good Lord. How's that? Oh yeah. I'm so excited about this. We've never talked this before. We're going to teach you about ABC customers. Why do you want to know that? Because it's going to help you be more successful in sales school. ABC students. Sorry, what's an A student look like? What's a B student look like? What's a C student look like? In other words, how can you further ensure your success? Sales prep school, free admission for anyone who buys within the next 24 hours. So what's all the talk about Vegas? First of all, Brittany's in Vegas. It's Brittany, bitch. My team and I are going to see Brittany as a celebration for the best sales school ever. We haven't hit that number yet, but we're going to. But we're going to do sales school live in Las Vegas the week of, or the days, October 19th and October 20th. And you get free admission into sales school live. Here's the thing. You have to be a sales school grad to get into sales school live. Sales school live is our first ever live event. We're going to do some bull in the ring, and you don't know what that is, but bull in the ring is a strategy that we used in pharmaceutical sales school and is awesome. You want to be able to sell, play some bull in the ring with me. It's awesome. We're going to work on follow-ups at Sales School Live because after I'm gone, after sales school is over, I know that follow-ups will continue to change your business. And we've got a super secret, not yet confirmed, amazing surprise for you all. So, Sales School Live, free admission to anyone who books within the next 24 hours. The final thing I want to say about this before I answer questions is I'm so proud of Sales School. You can probably tell that, but it's changing. Sales School, we've had some great opportunities this year. So you do get these. If you've already purchased them, you've got them all. Sales School's changing. So we have a book coming out. We have signed a contract to do a television show on Grant Cardone's network. I'm actually going to New York in a week to film another television show where I sit down with 7 women, just so y'all know. I train them on selling. Then we go down to the street in Manhattan and they sell. I'm scared to death. Scared to death. Then we come back and I coach them on what they did wrong, and then they go back and sell strangers on the street. I'm scared to death. But we're filming that in, I mean, like, I don't even know when we're filming it. In August. We're filming it in August. Soon, not a week, couple of weeks. So Sales School's changing. Next year, Sales School is going to be very specific. So Sales School for direct marketers, Sales School for multi-level marketers, Sales School for pharma reps, Sales School for corporate, Sales School for cell phone reps, Sales School for face-to-face selling. And you all will be grandfathered into all of those. So you will get access to all of those trainings, where next year you will have to pay for them individually. So not only do you get access to everything that Sales School has to offer this year, you always get access to all future sales schools, but because Sales School's training, you're going to get access to every different module, everything that we offer. And then the final thing I want to say is I do not take lightly that Sales School is an investment. I don't take that lightly. I know you work hard for your money. And I promise you, we're going to kill ourselves or almost kill ourselves to make sure that you get everything you want and more as a result of Sales School. I believe in you. I believe in your business. You can do this. I would be honored to help. All right. What kind of questions do we have, Erica?
Okay, well, our first question is actually from Cheshire Cat.
So
so we're going to call her from now on. She wanted to know what your thoughts were about this blog post. 5 things you can do in an hour to stop your kids running riots so that you can enjoy the summer holiday?
Okay, so you did exactly what I told you to do here. Exactly what I told you to do, but that's too long. So one of the most frequently opened headlines are number headlines, right? You may have learned that in the sales school pre-training. But so 5 things you can do. Yes, love that. Take the so that out of that. So Erica, read that to me again without the so that.
5 things you can do in an hour to stop your kids running riot.
5 things you can do to stop your kids from running riot or whatever. That's what I would say. Or 5 things you can do in 60 minutes or less to control your kids or something like that. The so that is it's a little bit too long. I like the blog post though. Yes, I love it. You're thinking the right way. Very good, Cheshire Cat. Very good. What else do we have?
Okay, just a quick shout out to Hannah. Hannah, I see your questions in the Q&A and I will make sure to ask them. Actually, let's go ahead and ask them right now. So she says she knows her niche and business plan, but she's very new. She's just starting out. Will sales school be too advanced?
No. If you know your niche, no, it won't. Sales school's what you learn in sales school is something that will pay your business for life. So knowing your niche is a prerequisite. I am not the person to help you figure out your niche. I'm not really the person to help you create packages either. So if you're looking to create, coaching packages, we actually have an affiliate who can help with that so that you get the best of both worlds. But sales school will absolutely help you put the foundations in place. And I really think people should take sales school earlier rather than later. You learn not to say sales school is a fit for everybody, and it's not. But we've had people come through sales school who were just starting out and do very well. And we've had people come through sales school who were already making $1 million in revenue. And the way I know this is because they told me, and I know them, they were pretty famous, and do extremely well also. So the key here is knowing your niche. I will not be able to help with that at all. But yeah, sales school will absolutely help you. I'm thinking, I want to answer your question as detailed as possible, but yes, it will absolutely help you. It will help you from creating copy to getting your first customers. Yes, it will absolutely help you.
Well, she also has sort of like a follow-up to that. She says, my business will revolve around affordable self-paced training courses. So I won't really have sales calls or follow-ups because it's not focused around one-on-one conversations. Will it still be relevant?
Well, yes, it'll absolutely still be relevant. But so my question for her is, do you have people to sell that to? So courses are hard to sell if you don't have a list of people. Now, you may have a list of people, but you said you're new. So this is a conversation that we probably want to talk through in the community. Courses are hard to sell when you're brand new. Sales school will teach you how to sell them. Yeah, without a doubt. But the key there is you need to have a list or a place to go, because 1 to 3% is going to convert. So if you have no people on a list and you're just going to start putting stuff out online and you don't plan on having sales conversations or engagement in that way, a course is going to be a little bit more difficult to convert. That has been my experience. We've got some sales school grads in here. Christine, Danielle, would you all agree with that? I mean, that has been my experience. So yes, it will help. Absolutely. You probably need it as much as anybody if you're going to be selling without talking to people. But I'm a big believer in getting paid in some one-on-one first. So I'm happy to talk this out with you in ASC. If you'd like to, I'd really like to help you make the best decision for you at this time. But yes, if you know where to go sell those courses, then absolutely it'll help.
Okay, we have a question from Dilshad. She wants to know about the 90-day action plan. Just can you explain that in a little bit more detail and what that'll be focusing on?
It focuses on making money. It focuses on prospecting. I lost my train of thought. Prospecting, connection, engagement, making the offer. overcoming objections, closing, and getting a referral. But the main thing is for how to put yourself out there, the main goal with the 90-day action plan is to do the things uncommonly well that I know are going to bring you exposure to your clients. It literally, I mean, the 90-day action plan even gives you, and this is way too much for some people, but it will even give you 7:30 a.m. do this, 8 o'clock a.m. do this, 9 a.m. do this. Some people hate that, some people love it. But if you follow the plan, it's powerful. The goal is to find you clients and make you money.
Okay, and we have a great question from Megan. She says, does sales school work for product-based businesses too, or is it just focused on client-based businesses?
Yeah, what a great question. So, and I realized this, I taught this webinar 3 times now, twice last year. So I've taught it 4 times and I don't know. Anyway, and I realized that every example in here is for a coach. It absolutely works for product-based businesses. And we've had plenty of product-based businesses come through here. We had a lady last year who sold her own line of children's clothing. We had an artist come through last year. We had, I'm just trying to think of people that stand out. Yeah, we absolutely talk about products without a doubt. A person who sells moisturizer, we've had come through. So yes, it does. And I need to put some examples. Great question. I can see why you would ask that.
Okay, and if people have already purchased sales school, are they offered these bonuses, or is this one day only, 24 hours special bonus?
Well, that would be really slimy of me. You get if you purchased early, you get all of these bonuses, plus the other ones that we gave away.
Okay, I think that's it. If anybody else has any questions, I put the link to the Authentic Selling Community in the chat box. We also do tutor times every Friday at 11 a.m. Central, and that's Facebook Live with Kendrick. She'll answer any questions. All you have to do is just tag her in the thread, and she'll answer everything and get more in depth in the Facebook Live tutor time.
I will. And what I would say is, before we leave for the night, number 1, thank you for being here. Again, I appreciate that you're here. Number 2 is, if you have questions, ask them. We will answer. We will tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like Christine over here in the chat actually has a follow-up answer to the lady who was asking about one-on-one and programs. So Christine is a sales school grad. She made $15K in 5 days, but she had a list. One-on-one was beneficial for testing her course ideas. So I'm happy to talk through this with you live if you'd like to talk through to the lady who had the question about courses. Got sidetracked. But what I want you to know is, ask us. We're not going to promise you something, or we're not going to steer you towards sales school if you're not a good fit. That takes away the whole thing, which we are so proud of, and that is how different sales school is and how we stand out as the leading sales training for females in the online world. I'm going to lose my voice. And then regardless of whether you buy from me or you don't, learn selling. It will change your business forever. And the final thing I want to say is, it can be hard to run an online business. It can be hard and scary. If I can do this, you can. If a hick from the hills of Tennessee with less than 100 people in her graduating class can do this, you can too. I want to support you any way I can, because I believe in you and I believe in your business. Let's go change the world. Thank you all. Good night.